Okay, here we got the Redline Beatnik Bandit. I'm building this for the Diecast Outcast Redline Challenge for Redline Day, which would be the 18th of May. And this is the Hong Kong version. Tell by the blue windows and then the square holes in the bottom, as this had different wheels. The wheels that are on that spinning base are the original wheels. I had already taken them off a long time ago. I don't even remember when I got this car. So it was complete, but it's seen better days. It was loved well enough. And the chrome's off the engine, the windows a little scratched, the wheels were bad. It's got some chipping. It's not terrible. It definitely would have been a good filler. There's paint on the wheels for some reason. I don't know what that's about. And then I made myself a rule. When I redo a Redline, especially Sweet 16, if they have a Hong Kong and US version, I'm going to do them both. So, here is a US version. You can see the difference in the bases. The windows on the US were clear, not blue. I will do a comparison in the two different ones. This one's obviously a blue car. All four wheels were still on this one. The only real detailing on the car is the tail lights. This one's missing a motor. And yeah, all in all, this Beatnik Bandit was a neat looking car, but it should have been brown, honestly, or tan, which I realized they didn't have a tan at the time. So, gotta go with what you go with, because it's kind of weird looking. And here's the parts to the Hong Kong one. It was pretty dirty. And drilling these apart is a little bit harder. I don't go for trying to get a screw in them because the posts are just too small. There's the interior. That engine kind of snaps on the end of that interior. There's the new wheels. Got those from the Redline shop. And this little piece here was found inside the car. I just kept it there just because I thought it was funny. And here's the US version. You can see the engine space is different, the interior is different, the window's different. The base is different, as pointed out earlier. There's a new window unit. Honestly, at this point, I can't remember if I used that or not. I don't think I used it on this one. I think I just bought it to buy it. I was making an order from the Redline shop and I bought it. Now this one here, the wheels were decent if I remember correctly, and I actually reused those wheels maybe? Nope, I got new wheels for it. Also from the Redline shop, which is probably why I picked up the window. I was making an order anyway. Now this has got those crimped in axles. Those are a pain because you really can't do much with them. If they're gone, you pretty much got to come up with something else. And the steering wheel's in there. I'm not a big fan of that steering wheel. This seemed kind of brittle. This one, the paint wasn't bad. And there's a dent I put in it trying to get it apart. I pried too hard. I did get that semi straightened out, but you can still see it in the final build. And there's the new engine, also from the Redline shop. And then I had this one, which was sent to me by somebody who wanted to see if I could fix the axles. Red, no windshield. This is where I used it. No, I didn't use it. I bought another windshield for it. Bought new axles for it, new windshield, new tires, wheels, whatever you want to call them. This one was red, Hong Kong version, so I had to buy a blue windshield. Redline shop did pretty good for me on this build. As you can see, I bought 4 sets of tires, 2 windshields, motor. I bought a steering wheel, which I think you'll see here in a moment. I can't remember, to be honest with you. It was not a bad looking car, but definitely needed repainted. I don't remember ever having one of these as a kid, but it looks like something I would have had. And then, just because, since I did 2 of them, I came up with yet another rule. I'm gonna do 2, and you'll see why here shortly. So here's another US version. This one was pretty decent, missing 1 wheel. This is the one I saved the wheels on. This is the one I saved the wheels on. I took the wheels off of something else. I had bought a new engine for it, of course, also from the Redline shop. And that one rolls great. Just incredible. Especially for only having 3 wheels. That one I might have raced without the wheel, without the 3rd wheel. I actually bought this one just in case I couldn't get that dent out, and then whenever I got that other one in the mail from my buddy Frank Brown over at Magoo's School for 164th Driver on Facebook, I went ahead and just decided to go ahead and make 2. These are the last 2, the parts for the last 2. Or no, this is a comparison of the differences. You can see the engine thing there. And then you got the grills are different. One of them is fed in because the Hong Kong version only has 1 post and it clips in the front, whereas the American has 2 posts, which you can see there. So that's the difference in the bodies. And it clips, the grill clips in there. Back there wasn't really much difference. And the sides there was not really any difference either. It was basically the same car. This was, this was an actual build. And there you see the difference in the headlight, the front end, the grills, if you will, one that slides in. Headlights were different. You can see the difference in the 2 things. That's after I replaced that rear axle. And I'll tell you as a hint, you're better off putting a little bit of glue on the top piece because it's going to keep popping out until you do. And if it pops out once you get it together, it's not as big of a deal because it'll stay in place, but that back piece will kind of flip up. I had shined these bases up. I'd already limed away them, the 50-50 lime away, and I have just a picture of my hand. I've got a lot of pictures of my hand going today. There's your 4 holes to adjust the springs, 2 holes which I really don't know what they're for. Yeah, you can see a lot of difference. The Hong Kong base is a lot more detailed. Got the springs, the transmission, the engine pan. And here's the 2 engines. This engine here, there's where it clips onto the interior. That's the Hong Kong version. A little bit different front end. It's got like a blower on it. This engine just kind of has carburetors on it. It doesn't clip on there. It clips into the 2 latches, not very easily, by the way. Had to sand that down a little bit. One of the 2 of them, I can't remember which one. The window units, these are both original. I cleaned them both up. Got the scratches out of it. I thought it was cracked, but it was just scratches. But they're different. See, they got the 2 clips on the front. I think that's why it's easier to find the other ones. The steering wheel is a big difference on this one. It's more of a bowl on the US version. where it's a regular looking interior on the Hong Kong with a black steering wheel. And then, yeah, there's a difference in the wheels too. I don't believe I showed it, but there is a difference. Okay, now this is an original on the back of a comic book, an original ad. No repo on this. It's got a, I can't even remember, a DC comic. I think it's a horror comic on the front. I didn't care about that. I bought it purely for this. But the first two cars they make are going to be the color, anytime I make them, are going to be the color off of this ad until I have all 16 in this color. And the Beatnik Bandit right there is shown in purple. So I did a purple one. And you know, I got this comic for I think $5 on eBay. So if somebody wants to try and get one, hey, I'd say do it. Okay, there's the Hong Kong version in purple. All put back together. Base all cleaned up. Tail lights put back on there with a Sharpie. New wheels. Engine in place. All shined up and ready to go. And yeah, even though you can't read it because this thing does not adjust well in focus, it's on there. I should be getting to the next one. Okay, there's the US version in purple. And I did this with Krylon spray paint, or not Krylon, Duplicolor metal cast paint, spray paint, because I was just learning to use my airbrush and I guess I didn't clean it out enough. Because I had originally actually painted these brown root beer and they were just two-toned. I had to clean them up to get them to look right, and yeah, it just didn't work. And then I guess I didn't clean my airbrush out enough, and I just ran out of patience. Hence why you can see two different shades. Okay, and then the other ones I did in an orange. This one I did, on both of these I used a base coat, simply because they were way too tarnished, or whatever you want to call it. So they have a silver base coat, the metal cast base coat underneath of them. I think they turned out pretty good though. US version in orange. I liked them in orange. They came out nice in orange. And then I got another one here. It's a bonus one. It was the Repop. You know, it is a Mattel, so it's not like it's a fake. It was $1.97 at Walmart in 1993. A vintage collection. I'm gonna try whenever possible to get one of these for any build that any red lines I do. You know, yet another rule that I'm coming up. These are also handy if you need parts and you can find one cheap enough. All the parts will swap out on these. This particular build I didn't need any. I have one that I'm planning on doing as soon as I find another Hong Kong car that I do need it. There's the little plastic clip thing. I really don't know what to do with that. I'll keep it, I guess, obviously. But this one's in like a black type thing, real shiny base. This is classics on the bottom. There's no way anybody could say that's a fake if you see the base. And it dropped. And I'm not putting these on my rotating stand because the rotating stand is broken. I've got 2 more on order, but thank you, Mr. Public Virus. It's taking forever for them to get here. There they are, 5 Beatnik Bandits, a newer one, and 4 older ones.